Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. All right, bear with me. Give me like 2 seconds here. Just get everything situated. I literally finished eating some nachos for dinner and throwing some stupid balls at dogs in the pool, but it is definitely a warm one here in sunny South Florida. How is everybody? Yeah, let's get into it. Bear with me as soon as I get all of this situated. And all right, there we go. Cool. I am good to go. Julio, bro, this heat, man, it's crazy, man. It is, and it's only going to get worse. We're not even in July yet, and it's going to get worse. I can feel it. Yeah, crazy. All right, so let's get into it. Hopefully last week fundamentals didn't deter what you were looking at. I actually didn't trade a lot last week. I was up in Orlando with my middle daughter. We were doing some, I'm sure you guessed it, some volleyball, and we are in the home stretch. This will be the last week of volleyball for our household until next month when school season starts. So high school volleyball starts next month. So yeah, we'll be diving into that. So yeah, it is brutal, man. This heat is, damn, it's out of control, man. You know, the pool water is almost getting to the point where it's bath water. So, it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. But all right, so let's dive into it. What am I looking for this week? If you guys have been following along, you should have some more conviction in bullish dollar because it's confirmed reaccumulation like we suspected, and we're going to continue to look for those longs. Those of you guys that followed UCAD, that UCAD buy was it was something. So gave really good entries. I think there was a total of 3 or 4 entries on it in its total movement. But we achieved that new high. And of course, now, looking for some buys on US dollar crosses, the shorts on everything against the dollar, and a couple things in between. You just got rid of snow. Oh no, bro. Well, no, there ain't no snow down here. There ain't no snow down here. We are full-fledged. Well, what was it? There we go. I mean, and this is very misleading. This right here is very misleading because 82 degrees is not what it is. It's 82 actual on the thermometer, but when you add in that 100% humidity, I mean, it's got to be every bit of upper 90 degrees. So yeah, it is what it is, though. Can't do nothing about it. So all right, so fundamentally, I'm not expecting a lot. Not expecting a lot this week. We really the only thing that potentially we're going to see some volatility come into is what old Jay Powell is going to say. Yeah, dude, humidity does. And you guys over there on the West Coast don't have the humidity like we do, man. The humidity over here, it's like you open your front door to go out to the driveway, and you got to go through another door. It's the humidity door, man. It is just out of control. Yeah, but anyway, tomorrow morning, old Jay Powell is going to be talking on Capitol Hill. So we should see what volatility and what nonsense he's going to spew. Not that I have anything personal against Jay Powell. I just have everything personal against the Fed. And I think the decisions they make are idiotic, but hey, it is what it is. So Wednesday, and then of course, Thursday, he's back on it. So expect during New York session, some volatility. I would say that they're going to affect mostly indices and definitely US dollar crosses. But, if you guys know the direct correlation the dollar has on other currencies, whatever affects the DXY is going to automatically affect every euro cross because it's going to be diametrically opposed to the euro. That, whatever happens with the euro also is going to affect the pound, and then, go from there. So we should see some volatility. That's really the only thing I'm looking at. Flash PMI data coming out of the euro, between the pound and stuff, that's not really going to move a lot. Even the small, like the unemployment claims that we get every Thursday morning, it's just the updated from the previous week's NFP. We haven't seen a lot of volatility probably in the last, I don't know, weeks, actually probably even months, we haven't seen volatility come out of that. For the most part, this week is going to be pretty quiet. We're just going to rely mostly on technicals and continuation moves. I mean, that's really what I feel like is going to happen. If you zoom out, if you jump, instead of getting on a 1 minute chart, if you zoom out and you look at what FOMC actually did, really nothing. I mean, it gave a little bit of a manipulation to either the up or downside. And then from there, we've just seen continuation play. So we'll continue to see, there we go. We'll continue to see some kind of, movement that we've been expecting on a lot of these dollar crosses. And that's really what I'm focusing on. Yen crosses, like, unfortunately last week I couldn't do the Zoom, but I did release my New York session, the morning kind of what I go through for the week with my group. And, I was really just being patient with yen crosses. We did get the move that I was expecting. So now for me, I would say largely in part of all the yen crosses, I'm looking for those buying opportunities. If you pay attention to what UJ did, UJ is the essentially the benchmark asset to what the yen futures chart is, right? It's just inverted. So UJ confirmed reaccumulation. So that means that the yen futures confirmed distribution, right? So, with that, I'm looking for appreciation on everything against the yen. I'm going to be looking for those buys and, continue to go up with it. So 96 in Chicago. Yeah. But even a 96, I'll take a 96 in Chicago over a 90 in Miami, because 90 in Miami will probably be with the heat index, humidity, right? You're talking maybe like 105, 107, something like that. It's just crazy. Buy crypto and stocks, they're about to moon. I think we got a little more down ways to go. I'll start moving some mutual funds over into like when we hit like the 26K mark on Dow, maybe when we hit like the 2,800 mark on the S&P, I'll start moving some stuff over. But for the most part, back in, I want to say January is where I really got out of indices, out of stocks. And if you look at every stock, just look at the major ones, look at Amazon, look at Tesla, look at Google, look at Boeing, look at all of these big stocks that make up, the S&P 500 or the Dow 30 or even the NASDAQ 100. What do you notice? What's the common theme about them? They're all in distribution. So, obviously we're going to be set up. I think everything's coming back to mitigate out of the COVID drop from March 2020, which makes sense. And, I'll tell you this, I know a lot of people are in the crypto space are like freaking out like it's the end of crypto. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if you watch, I don't know what streams it was, but if you watch streams from months ago, and when I said if we broke that low that was maintaining the new high, I think it was like 29K on BTC, and we were coming down to, between, in my opinion, I think we're coming between 5,700 and like 9K on BTC. That's pretty much what makes sense for me. And we'll talk about some crypto at the end, if we have some time, because I do have my personal opinion on, I think what's going to essentially keep a lot of these crypto projects from faulting. But I don't think a lot of them are going to make it. I think the ones that are not useful, have no real use case scenarios for them, I think those are going to go away. I think those that made ill-advised or failed to diversify their treasuries, I think those are going to take big hits. But I think there's a lot of them that are going to come out of the ashes and are really going to capitalize on this bear market. We have bull markets and bear markets, and for me, officially, this is a bear market, short term. Whether this bear market lasts 6 more months or 6 more years, it doesn't matter. For me, it's just making sure I'm positioned in the next run, just like I got positioned in 2020 for the previous run. So yeah. So anyway, let's dive into it. I could talk here all day about, my outlook on things, but looking over here at the charts, we'll kind of go, everything starts with me on the dollar index. Like if I understand what the dollar index is doing, I know exactly how I'm going to be trading this. So let us, hold on, let us get over here, dollar index. Thinning of the crypto herd. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fundamentals going into crypto as well. You got to understand that, especially like proof of work projects, they still need to they still need to require some kind of profitability, because like if it becomes unprofitable to Bitcoin mine, right, then essentially, what are you going to do? Like well, shoot, I'll tell you right now, like I'm at the point where as soon as I get into the negative, as soon as I stop making money on my miners, they're going off. And if everybody's, Bitcoin miners go off, then guess what? The blockchain doesn't progress to the next number. So if you have a stoppage of the blockchain, well, that's going to be even more detrimental to some of these projects. So, some of these big farms, they are going to have to do whatever they need to do to invest and, protect their investment. So if that means, getting assets together to purchase and cause the coin to appreciate, that's maybe what they do. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with all of it. All right, bigger picture on DXY, right? Bigger picture on DXY. Last week, what was I expecting? I was expecting us to, after taking this high right here, let me go blue. After taking this high right here, what was I expecting? I was expecting us to come back and mitigate this move over here. So, and that's kind of what we saw, right? Hold on. What is she sending me? Oh, geez. Sorry, having a little text with my wife. She's she's venting. Alrighty, there we go. So anyway, what I was expecting is what us coming back into an area of demand. Did we come back in? This could have been it, right? And what I want to see is, now do we reaccumulate, right? So we have our distribution. Price does come back into the area of distribution. I want to see, do we now break that high? And if we essentially do this, my expectation is there's our creek. My expectation is that we're just going to reaccumulate. And that's great, right? Because if that happens, I'm going to play the continuation move. So if I understand what the dollar is going to be doing, do we appreciate, reaccumulate here? We're in the process of jumping the creek. That gets me in, especially with the EU. That tells me exactly how I'm going to trade EU. Now, can we continue to the downside? Absolutely, right? And where do I start looking for buys? Well, I start looking for buys right here. So, kind of to get an idea of how I would trade this on EU, I would just invert the chart, and that's exactly how I'm doing it, right? So there's a big old distro up here on EU. We go up into that distro. I'm going to short out of that distro, and otherwise I need us to essentially break the low. And I'll start playing out of the most recent order flow, right? That'll be our new leg. So dollar index, I mean, I'm still going to be very patient with it, but I definitely know what I'm going to be waiting for. I know what I'm not going to be doing, right? I'm not going to prematurely get into it until we get the price action that I want to see. So I'm still very, very much bullish. There's nothing in this chart right here that is giving me any inkling of weakness coming into the dollar. So fundamentally, there's nothing that I see that is giving me any kind of indication of weakness, right? And then the technicals, there's nothing here. We are in a massive reaccumulation, and this is maintaining our leg, right? That right there is our leg. So we come back into any, discounted areas of demand. I'll be looking for the opportunity to buy more dollar crosses. Specifically, obviously DXY is how I'm going to treat EU. Right. So that's what I'll be looking in that case. Going over to EU. Yeah. I mean, there we go. Going over to EU, this is what we have. And we have a little bit of divergence, right? On EU, we did not take the low, which I really don't care, because EU, we're in a bearish market. And I already saw that dollar took the high. Dollar has confirmed the reaccumulation. So for me, it's inevitable that this is going to create that new low. And then you can see the news candle. We have a distribution in there that is maintaining our last point of supply. And if we do trade up into that area, this is where I get in, right? This is my big short. This is where I want to take it to make a new low. and capitalize on the 400 plus pips that's going to be. Outside of that, what gets me in is we now need to break some order flow, right? I need us to now show some weakness before I play out of anything in here. So for me, it's pretty simple. You can see my alert sitting up here. There's really not much I'm going to do with EU until we get there. All right. I'm not real interested in trying to buy it at this point. For me, the hedge position was going to be out of here. If price came down into that area, that's where I would hedge it. Outside of that, I'm not doing much anymore because it's no longer valuable. If we do come down into this area, my anticipation is that we're just going to break it. I'm not looking, especially if we break this high here, I'm not looking for it to come back in here for us to go higher. It's at that point, it's no longer worth the risk because I'm bearish. Overall, I'm bearish. Nothing about EU is giving me any kind of bullish intention. And I'm just holding a ton of shorts on EU. All the way going back, I think my earliest EU short is back in September. So I'm just holding all of those positions. And ideally, my next stop, all of these shorts that I've gotten into from here, and I think I worked, and then in here, all of those positions that I worked in there, where am I targeting? Well, I mean, at this point, we've got to zoom all the way the heck out. And, where am I going with it is I'm kind of pushing in. I know we're already going to take this low because we've done that on DXY, but I want to push into this area over here. So, we haven't seen this I was in college the last time, we saw a sub $1 Euro USD. And, you've got to start to think what is really happening fundamentally. Is the European Union going to continue to allow the depreciation of the euro? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But yeah, overall, this is what I'm waiting on right here. That's where I'm waiting right there out of this. So we know that this was the buy. We know that's what the sell was. We know that we have a type 1 distribution overall. And then, ideally it's too big for me to want to throw a limit on there. If the R to R was worth it, I'd have a limit on it, but 80%, the 80% mark is like 20 pips already. So, I mean, we're at 18.8 pips. So, 19 pips with your spread. But so that's how I'm going to kind of tackle EU. I do like the area. Whether or not we get up there this week, who knows? I just know that when this alert goes off, I'll be ready to take it. And the flip side of it is obviously if we sell off, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon because fundamentally we don't have a reason to, but we sell off, 150, 160 pips. I'll be looking for for that break and then mitigation of it. All right. So that's my plan with EU. I don't foresee me getting into a trade on it anytime soon. On the GU front, how far do you have to look back to determine your structure legs? I wouldn't say like how far do you have to look back. It's just follow your most recent leg, So as far back as if this makes sense, right? So if you are bullish, right? If you are bullish, and say that now I'll say this, right? Whatever structure point it is, if you're in a bullish market, to verify it, you have to find where were you bearish that you broke to become bullish. So if that means you've got to go back 6 months, that's only 6 months. If that means you have to go back, I don't know, like GBP Canadian, right? In GCAD, I think you got to go back 15 years. Actually, I think you even got to go back more than that. I think you got to go like 22 years. So it all depends on, the most recent leg structure. So if you're in a bearish market, to validate that you are what leg you're in, find where were you bullish that you broke, right? Because something had to maintain bullish structure for you to break and then work it from there. So I always go back to the most recent leg that broke the structure point and then work forward from there. Okay. On GU, right? On GU. So here's what I got on GU. We don't have to go to intraday. We don't have to go higher time frame, right? Everything, nothing has changed. We're just massively bearish on this sucker, right? For me, we have a new order flow leg, right? So here we are. We're stuck right here. We have a massive redistribution. All right. Of course, if we trade if we trade up into this redistribution that's sitting here, I'm definitely a seller. Did we come back to mitigate this move? Yeah, I mean, that's it right there. The only problem I have with it is the price action from last week into today really doesn't give me a lot to play with. So, ideally what I'm going to be waiting for is, do we push higher? And if we push higher, I'm waiting for a schematic. And of course, if we push lower, right? If we push lower, well, now, today's price action may be something I'd be interested in looking or playing out of. Regardless though, I don't like how, if we go, let's go like 15-minute. Yeah, there we go. So I just don't like how the price action we have here, just nothing really gets me involved in anything, right? I mean, we don't have any clear manipulation, like, do we have a small, ugly distro there? Sure. Do we have a redistro here? Yes. And then what do we have? We just have a series of just lower highs coming in. So it's a complex pullback. We have a distro here, type 1, that does trade into, looks like 80% close to, but we don't have no follow through, right? We never break. And we've spent the last, what are we now at, 13 hours just sideways. So nothing about GU is telling me, Mike, get into a trade because you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on the move. Nothing in this price action here from, I would say, Friday's price action, right? Because this is Friday. I say nothing from Friday's price action to current is telling me hurry up and get into a play because I may be missing out on this move. It's going to tell me when it's ready to go. Whether or not I missed the initial distribution, that's fine. I play the continuation move, right? Play the redistros. So, but nothing about what I see on this screen right now is telling me supply coming into the market, or supply trying to take control. There's nothing here that I'm saying, all right, yeah, I want to get into the move. For me, we still have, we still broke, this was the lowest form of order flow and we broke it here. So this is now what is maintaining my lowest form of order flow. And this is essentially the reaccumulation slingshot area. So for me to get involved in a short without going higher, I mean, you could see my alert sitting right here. I want us to take that low. And then, what I would be looking for is, we know that this was the buy and this is the sell. So this is essentially the drawdown point. So I would be looking for price to come back and mitigate that after we do it. All right. So GU, again, nothing I'm really going to be losing sleep over, nothing I'm going to be trying to catch or take a move on. Eventually when it gives its move, I'll look at it and be happy to jump into it. Hold on, bear with me. Let me move. We'll do those later. Yeah, we'll do those later. EU and NU and AU. Now those are a little different story, right? These are kind of what I'm looking for, right? When we look at NU, and again, comparable strength, we definitely have a reason to be looking for shorts on NU and AU from where they came out of, right? The distribution up here, right, on NU, much like we've been speculating and trying to catch, ended up causing a new low. So we know that, the red dots are pretty much our leg, right? That's going to be our leg. And then does price come back up into an area, right, where one supply stands, right? We have a redistro, but more importantly, the 50% mark of this. Once we did that, do I now have cause or do I have reason to suspect that, we're going to see sellers coming back into this market, right? And looking at it from an order flow perspective, right? Well, we know we break order flow here, right? And then we know we make a new order flow high here. So this is maintaining the order flow, and this is the reaccumulation slingshot that causes that. So when price distributes and then redistributes and then redistributes and then breaks that slingshot area, we're in a bearish market. So now it's starting to tell me, all right, maybe we have reason to start looking for some shorts on NU. This may not be the trade that takes us to a new leg structure low, but it's definitely, it's in the directional bias, and I'm starting to, find cause into getting into this trade. So what I started to look at was, and I'll make it a little bit bigger here. what I started to look at is, all right, so where did price react from? Why are we reacting? And what are we doing? You can see that we type 1 distribute here very nicely out of a previous area of supply. More importantly, we know that this was a manipulation, a buy, and we know that we sold from here. So when we measure this entire move, right after it breaks that low, does she come back into a premium area for us to take that trade? Absolutely. Do we get a type 1 distribution? We do. Okay. Now, if we move forward and start asking, well, okay, what are we doing at this point? Well, we now have price that shows us that weakness, comes back and distributes out of our 80% of that type 1 distribution. And what do we do from there? We confirm an overall redistribution, right? We take out during London, or actually this is New York session now, we take out that Asian low and we sweep it. And from there, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, does price now come back? Does price now come back and give us a distribution right here within a premium of this high? Absolutely. And then from there, what do I need to see? Well, I'd love to see this low get taken because now I can set that limit order back in off of that distribution. Did you say we're in a bearish market on NU? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. We're in a bearish market. What time frame are you bullish on NU? The 15-minute order flow. All right. So wait a minute. We're in a bearish market. I could care less what a 15-minute order flow is doing, right? Where are we bullish? Because of this right here? Look at this. Hold on. Because of that right there? Okay. Yes. This is bullish right here. I 100% agree with you. If for me, right? For me, that's where I list order flow. So am I in a bearish structure? Yes. Am I in supply? Yes. Do I have cause and effect to start looking for shorts? 100%. I'll worry about order flow when I get down to that on the list. Yeah. Right. I mean, do I need order flow to, I mean, just think about how many variations or layers of order flow we have. I don't care about it. I just need to make sure that I have enough reason and I have to understand where my line in the sand is. So what's my line in the sand, right? My line in the sand is at this point out of this right here. Let's just say hypothetically we do break like I suspect. My line in the sand is that right there. That's all that matters. Where's the effect of supply? Of which supply? Of the very first? The very first is we took out our very first area of demand, right? Hold on. When we came into the 50%, we took out New York price action. That was the reaccumulation. Okay. So now what do I want to see? I want to see price come back in here and distribute. All right. We got that. We got a type 1. And then from there, what do I want to see? I want to see market cycle distribution. I want to see redistribution. Okay. That's all I needed. That's for me, all I need to see. We confirm redistribution. We come back and give a type 1 distribution during New York today in prior area of supply. And now we're shorting off. So for me, that's all I need, right? My very first target's going to be this. Well, you can kind of see what I was looking at for targets today. My very first target's going to be this Asian low. Then we're coming here and then we're coming down here. That's my goal. At any point, like what's my line in the sand? Well, as soon as we break this low, if we take out this high right here, if we go higher, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. And then I'm waiting at that point for either us to break order flow to the downside, or we go up here so I can get into structure. Yeah, bro. Yep. Supply is all your short sellers, and demand are all your buyers. So, yep. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my thought process within you. I like it. Pretty clean for me. I understand like where and why it's moving. So, and that's the key. I know a lot of people, I've said this before. Don't just look at price action, right? Go on Google, type in, Wyckoff distribution and start plugging in, oh, well, I have a SC, so I'm going to move that here. And I have an STB or a MSAL in B, and I'm going to put that here because that's what the chart says. Pay attention to what the price action is telling you. Read the price action. Look at cause and effect. Most of you guys know that I have key time frames for a lot of my price action. Go back and back test them. It's very important. I just don't arbitrarily, and most of you guys know, I don't arbitrarily do that. It's everything has a purpose. So read that price action. For me, this is clear. This is clean. This is something I'll definitely be taking into, tomorrow's trading time. I'll be looking at that right here. This is something I want to get into, right? We have a very, very clean type 1 accumulation that happened during New York session, right? There's your UTAD. Perfect divergence. Oh, there it is right there. Get rid of this one. There you go. Perfect divergence, right? Gave us the momentum shift. I like it. And, now it's going to maintain, will very shortly in about 1 pip will maintain my order flow leg, right? This is now my order flow on the lowest form. So price coming back up, this is what I want mitigated. All right. So that's kind of what I'm going to be tackling on NU, right? That's something I'm going to be looking at and, targeting new lows. Whether or not we get up there, we'll see. But that's definitely something I'll be looking at. All right. On the AU front, AU, exact same price action. Now there's a little bit of divergence between AU and NU because AU did not make the new low, right? You can see my alert right here. We did not make the new low. I don't care that we didn't make the new low, right? We're in a bearish market. NU's already told me. NU's been the leader for a very long time, right? NU's been definitely the weakest of the two benchmarks. And, NU's telling me that we made the low. That's all I need to see. So at this point, what gets me into a trade? Well, if we follow what's going on with AU, right? AU, we can see already, bearish order flow, right? We broke this bearish order flow. This is what needs to be mitigated. Price comes back into our slingshot that causes the break, and we get a type 1 distro. Okay. Right? Oh, for the low. Oh, for the low. Hold on one sec. Let's pull this up. All right, there we go. So we come back into supply, right? We type 1 distribute. And then from there, what do I want to see? I just want to see the market cycle, right? I want to see market cycle give me a reason to get into this. So, overnight, what do we get? We got this just fantastic Asian price action. We saw the London break above it. Okay. And we saw it take the low, right? Did it do anything after that? No, not necessarily. So what's still my line in the sand? My line in the sand is still that distro. So I bet, when you're looking at it, what did price do? Well, price came all the way up into our 80%, right? Actually, I don't know. Did she come exactly into 80? Hold on. Oh, no, just short of it. Anyway, price comes into our area of supply. And then what do we want to see? We want to see that sign of weakness. Well, this is a reaccumulation. Boom, we break that. At that point, I was ready to take this trade this morning. We just never saw it come back. So you can see that NU is already down here, making that low. All right. I'm going to be looking to see, can we overnight get back down into this area? But I'll be definitely looking for shorts out of that area of supply, that distribution, going into tomorrow. Whether or not we can get a repeat of maybe yesterday's Asian price action. Maybe we come into here with Asian, we get Frankfurt or London to scoop up. We can get into that position here and then just target, lows on Asian, target lows on Asian, and then overall, maybe make a new low. Again, I'm not 100% convinced that on AU and NU side that this is going to be the move to get us lower, but I'm definitely willing to participate in it, right? I'm going to sit and wait to see, does price give me something to play off of? And if it does, great, I'll pull the trigger on it. All right, then hold on, bear with me. Is there a candle that I'm targeting on AU? No. It's the entire move. Yeah. I mean, it's at that point, if you look at it, I mean, I don't know what was my, so, I mean, 80% is, 50% is 4.7 pips. So I'm really not too eager, or I'm not going to be too eager to try to minimize my stop just because it's already on the 80%, it's already like 1.8 pips. So yeah. Market came right into 80% of the UTAD on the 15-second distro. Market came into 50%. Are you talking about this one here? That one there? I got you. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. No, it's pretty clean. I mean, you could clearly see where she came. Yeah. So on AU, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to be targeting. I'm looking for the shorts. I like what I saw. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. That's what my goal is. Keep shorting this. And, overall, like what's my overall target? My overall target is going to be to make this low down here around like 68.30 area, So we definitely have, like 130 pips to get down here. I like the R to R on it. All right. So that's AU. We'll talk about UCAD too, since it's another dollar cross. So UCAD, right? UCAD. Let's start over with UCAD. So UCAD, what did we see happen, right? Yeah, I mean, UCAD was pretty nice, very, very clean. For those of you that back tested it, where did I do it on? I did it on like FXCM, I think. Yeah, I was on FXCM. So those of you that back tested the price action, maybe it wasn't on FXCM. Maybe they just deleted it from me. Pepperstone, maybe. I know I backed. That's what I did. I back tested on that, I think. Let's see. Saxo, Global Prime. It was, dude. I swear. All right, whatever. It is what it is. TradingView just didn't like all my drawings on it. Anyway, yeah, those that back tested it, like I definitely gave the information to. Yeah, I mean, this was a phenomenal trade right out of there and targeting a new high. So yeah, I mean, I'm sitting. I don't even know what I'm sitting at with them. I know it definitely hit my big take profit. It was a really quick entry. It's somewhere in there. Where the heck is it? There it is. So it was a 1 to 138 and a 1 to 153. So those were the two entries. And then there was a third entry somewhere in here that actually would be, I know a couple guys that snagged that one. That'd be at a 1 to 216. And then the other one, so that's the third. And where's the one that I think Adam got into somewhere in here. I thought it was somewhere in here. Anyway, yeah, the three entries out of there were just super, super clean price action to play. So what I'm looking for now is obviously like when let's hide the drawing tools for 1 sec, right? We know that we broke, right? And we know that this is the reaccumulation, the slingshot that caused it. So primary number 1 point of interest. Then of course we come down in here, that's number 2, right? So I could care less about anything in between. What I'm going to be focused on now is, can I work an entry out of here? So and that's going to be the key, right? That's where I'm going to be looking for the potential buys on it. Can I make it? No, man, that is all YouTube. Yeah. I'm broadcasting it in, I don't know, like 4K, but it's all YouTube. YouTube, if for some reason, like, I don't know what it is, but they'll throttle the resolution until make sure if you're on YouTube, make sure when you go to your settings page that instead of auto, change that sucker. Well, I guess no, it doesn't even let you go more than 720. So yeah, there's nothing I can do about that, man. It is what it is. It's YouTube. Yeah. Do I have a course? No, I don't have a course, man. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you're just join the public Discord. If you're on my YouTube channel, go to like links or whatever on the right, just go to the Discord little icon. It'll drop you right into the Aporia group. So, oh, hold on, here we go. Yeah. So anyway, on the UCAD front, yeah, this is definitely my first area. You can see I've been doing a little work. We were looking at potential buys out of it this morning. And if we look at it, so here, let's go 5 minute first. There we go. So when we look at 5 minute, right, we know that just from an order flow perspective, this is what's maintaining, right? From an order flow perspective, we're here. We know that this is a reaccumulation, right? We know that that's a reaccumulation. So this was the sell, this was the buy, right? So here's 50 and 80 of it. Lo and behold, we've got area of demand sitting smack dab in there, right? So this morning, what I wanted to see us sweep some Asian liquidity, come back into our shakeout, right? And give us a reason right here to buy this sucker. That's what I wanted to see. You found a 1 to 50 R off the 5 minute time frame. It's yeah. I mean, it gave the entry. It gave an entry. I don't know if anybody took I mean, I didn't throw much at it. I think I threw $50 at it. So I threw, what was it? 30.73. This was the only end. Well, this was the big trade that I took. I know it was off the 15-second, but yeah, there you go. So this one right here to 30.73, which was the high. It's a 1 to 792 minus spread, right? There's no spread included in that position out of the type 1 off the 80%. But yeah, this was the easy play out of the type 1 here. That entry right there was the easy play. And then, you had your third entry here off the 50% of the reaccumulation. And then there was one up here as well. So, but pretty clean price action. There was a lot of confirmation to take out of that. Yeah. So, but good job with the back test on it, man. Yeah, it definitely gave reason to take the trade, and it shot up there like I expected. So anyway, what I'm looking for UCAD is I definitely like the New York reaccumulation, right? There's not much I can do with Asian price action down here. It is what it is, but what I did want to see is I wanted to see an accumulation. So this morning, did we get an accumulation? Yep. Yeah. During London, right? You saw a really clean accumulation right in here. Price comes into the 50% of it. And then later comes into 80% of the entire push, right? Which is this right here. So, what I want to see now is, and this was something I was entertaining today, it gave like a 1 to 16 and then comes right back down. So what I want to see though, is I want to see that strength, right? One of the key things that we haven't been able to do is we really haven't seen a sign of strength coming out of UK, which leads me to believe that we're just in a larger schematic, right? Potentially this is our climax. This is potentially our rally. This is a test. We show signs coming into 50% and we have another test here. So what I'd like to see is maybe something like this, and then a manipulation, a spring, right? Something that breaks the low, ideally, we come out and maybe that's what gets us into, something like this to play out of this price action. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on UCAD, right? Again, all targets for me are just going to be to make a new high. I'm going to run this as high as I can. Eventually, it's inevitable. I'm not going to say, well, I mean, if you look at some of the yen crosses, it is a far-fetched idea, but for me, I understand that this is a possibility, right? And if that happens, I'd be thrilled, because that just gives me an opportunity to catch another 600 pips to the upside. All right, so that's really what I'm going to do with it. A summarized form on I can how you can determine if it's mitigated or not. You're going to have to look at the cause and effect and see, does, like, so in a distribution, did they mitigate out of their sell orders, or I'm sorry, mitigate out of their buy orders? So you're just going to have to, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, there's no like magic definitive way, it's a level of probability, and then understanding, for me, like I call it the line in the sand, understanding what's my maximum risk, what's the line in the sand. So if I can't say with some kind of certainty that it's been mitigated, then I've got to cover all the way up to whatever that, that high or low is. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, there is no summarized form of it. Yeah, I mean, that's a very lengthy conversation. So yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say is read the price action, and I know that sounds like crappy, because I used to hate when people say, well, just read the price action, you know, come to find out, I don't think they understood what read the price action meant. But yeah, like you have to see and it's a scenario driven, right? Because I can't say, well, okay, if price comes and does that manipulation and we break and we come exactly to the 50 and we go higher, is that the mitigation? It could be, it depends on what's going on down there, right? So that's why, for me, the key is diving into all the time frames and trying to figure out what exactly happened. Like it's going to tell you the story, and that's why it's so difficult to kind of like explain it. Like I can honestly shoot. I mean, I know, because we do it. I could spend this UCAD, just this UCAD right here, those three entries, most of you guys on here, right? How many hours did we backtest that for? Right. I mean, and I took one of those. Well, I took two of those entries, right? I took two of those entries, but the backtest and the discussion and going through the understanding was a 3 hour long video, was 3 hours on a Zoom call, going through and explaining and dissecting and looking at multiple time frames of price action. It was probably, I don't know what, like 15 minutes worth of price action. So, that's like the sad truth is it's not a definitive answer. It's very subjective, but it's also a level of probability that you have to undertake, so yeah. I have no idea, man. I don't use the volume spread analysis, so couldn't tell you. Yeah, I have no idea, like, its validity, especially in currency markets. If it's anything like the volume profile, I'll tell you right now, I don't put much validity in that. So because you're at the hands of whatever broker is uploading the data, the API data, into TradingView, and if they just want to say that they're not, they're going to skip out, or they're going to be lazy and they're going to put the data in, then you're just going to get a bunch of zeros, or, not available data. Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah. So hopefully that kind of, explains it. But yeah, anyway, on the UCAT front, I'm definitely looking for buys. Like I've already, the easy answer on what I'm doing with UCAD is I've already gotten rid of 50% of the idea. Like I'm not even looking for shorts on this. I was going to attempt to hedge it, but there's just no indication that supply is coming into this market, right? Even when we look at this chart right now, very much so buyers are in control. Now, the price action, let me hide the drawing tool so it's not so ridiculous looking, but are we in a schematic? Yes, right? Like I said, I mean, this for me is my climax, that's my rally, that's my test, and we have another test. What I want to see is maybe, I mean, I'd love to see that right there sweep. If I can get a lower time frame entry in here because it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th drive, I'd be happy. If I don't get that position, I would need us to break whatever that high is. I guess in this case, it would be that high right there. I would need us to break that high before I can start looking for entries to take this higher and target a new high. So that's what I'm going to be looking and attempting to get into with UCAD. Now, let's go back over the other dollar crosses. So USHEF, right? US dollar, Swiss franc, right? I'm bullish dollar. And if you looked at the Swiss franc futures, right? I mean, it's telling the same story, right? I mean, it's just telling you that bearish Swiss franc. So nothing about what we're seeing here, and if you guys remember, I mean, we've been buying US dollar Swiss franc for a very long time. We started buying in here. I'm still, man, where's my entries from? I'm still buying. Yeah, there we go. So I'm still holding these positions right here. Right. I don't have a lot other open. I think I do have some positions out of here, and that is it. I was looking for some positions out of here, but they just missed me. So what I'm looking for now is let's take a look at what current price action is telling us, right? We know we're bullish, right? The fact that we did not make a new high doesn't make me bearish on this, right? I mean, I'm still very, very much bullish. And if you look at market cycle, we have our accumulation, we have our reaccumulation, we have our distribution. And now what I want to see is I want to see this bad boy here give me an entry. So what I'll be looking for is, you can already see the alerts. I just boxed this out just like I'm expecting with UCAD, right? Just wait and see. Do we get a spring? Does that spring now break structure for us? Do we come back? And is that my entry that I'm targeting making a new high? All right. That's ultimately how I'm going to play this and what I'm going to be looking to try to position into. One thing I can do is I can invalidate my shorts, right? There's no reason for me to short this. There's nothing I want to do with it. You're still holding it? Yeah, man. Is it playing positive spread for you too? Yeah, it's like my EU shorts. I've made, I don't know what I'm at now. I think I'm at probably, so for my September EU shorts, I'm probably at like $500 on swap fees that I've been paid. So I'm making money to hold it. It offsets all the other ones that I'm paying for the swaps, but it's still nice, so absolutely, there's no reason to close this out. We're still very much bullish. And I'll be looking to continue that play to the upside. So right now, what gets me into a trade on this? And I was looking, I know this morning we saw that type 1 in there, and I looked away because it was Tuesday, and I'm not gonna play the Tuesday games, but we did see, there she is right there, man. We did see, what does she play into? I'm guessing she played into that. Hold on. I'm guessing she played into that. So so it's 50%. And then there's that's what she played into. Son of a gun, bro. Oh, that's what she played into. What's maintaining higher time frame on USHEF? Like higher time frame, we're bearish, just like UCAD. So, yeah. Hold on. So what do we play into this morning? Yeah, she played. Wow. Unfreaking real, man. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, she played into it. What time was that at? It was 11 o'clock in the morning, man. Why did I see this? It's only half a pip spread or half a pip stop loss. Damn. All right. Well, it is what it is. We have a type one in there and she comes perfectly into 80% of our spring. So I'll mark that out. So this is an example of, you're asking like, has this been mitigated? Yeah, that's your mitigation. And then you have a 1 second right in there that it's mitigated. Like I don't even need to go lower time frame to see it. So now I don't need to sit on a 5 second because I know that the lower time frame's mitigated. So I got to ask myself, what are they going to come back to mitigate after this? What I need to see at this point is, man, she's going to need a break up here. Where are we on the 15? Yeah. So we either nothing's changed. I mean, we're still here, right? 4 drives here. We don't have a spring, so we either go up and give me a sign of strength, and then I come back to play out of that, or we spring break, I play, and then we go higher. So UChef may be a play that you can get into probably Thursday, Thursday or Friday. I don't see UChef doesn't move. I mean, you can see. You can see 24-hour period is right here, right? Yellow to yellow is a 24-hour period. I don't see us in this 24-hour period here. I don't see us getting up here, and I don't see a spring. Maybe into New York tomorrow we get a spring, and then we'll have to wait for the break. But like I said, if we do get a spring, if we take out the low, I'll definitely be looking for something over here that I can say that's what it's going to play out of. And then that's where I jump on lower time frame and try to catch a move off of it. So I like UChef though. UChef's been playing pretty nice. Or most of my entries. Yeah, most of my entries. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I took an entry. Okay. So the entry itself is based off of lower time frame confirmation, but before I can even get lower time frame, I've got to play off. It's got to come into a higher time frame POI, right? So like, why am I looking on UChef for buys right now? Has nothing to do with a 5 second or a 1 minute chart. Has everything to do with what is going on right here, right? Are we in an area of demand? Yes, right. Same, like if you look at all of the charts that I'm looking at, where am I? What gets me to the lower time frame? It's the point of interest we're in, and it has nothing to do with the 5 second, the 5 minute, right? It has everything to do with that higher time frame. So, yeah. When you get to SPX, let me know what you think of these. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I was looking for the buys on them, man. I was looking for the buys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at them when we get to them there. Hold on, bear with me. What's your current thoughts on UChef and its position considering so when you look at it, let's go like 30-minute. So when you look at UChef, hold on. When we look at UChef, does it give you, do you see weakness? Do you see a cause for sellers coming into the market? Yeah. I mean, for me, no. Right. Now granted, where we are higher time frame, right? Like where are we higher time frame? My personal opinion, right? My personal opinion is that UChef takes out these highs. That we do whether or not we come here and then go, but these are my targets because we need to play into that over there, right? If you look at a lot of the Swiss bank pairs, right? Chef JPY, CAD Chef, the 2015 Swiss bank manipulation that's already been taken out. So yeah, for me, the like I said earlier, the failure to make a new high means doesn't breed weakness to me, right? You know, when I look at what did this distribution do other than put us back into an area of demand? Nothing. So, do I put risk on here? Yeah, with the right confirmation, I will. So I'm looking buy. I'm looking buy on UChef. I just got to be patient and wait for it. So using cause and effect and demand, there did not achieve. Wait. Using cause and effect, demand there did not achieve any effect. You talking about this right here? Demand didn't achieve anything. It did not take out the high. So let me ask you a question. In a bullish market, what's important? Highs or lows in a bullish market? And for me, demand did a lot. It gave us a market cycle, gave us an accumulation, a reaccumulation, and a distro. So, for me, it did. Like I have enough. The one thing I don't have is I don't have a cause to think weakness because I don't see any weakness, right? It didn't provide a weakness. Now, can this turn into a larger distribution? Yeah, absolutely. Right. Can we not come here and say that potentially we can see that? Yeah, 100%. And at that point, we have our weakness, right? At that point, we have our weakness, and great. Even if we don't get the UTAD, even if we just get an up thrust and then we collapse, then we got our weakness. But at this present point, we got nothing, right? I still have bullish price action because we haven't taken out any, like the bearish move like this here didn't take out any bullish price action. We're still massively bullish. Yeah. So that's how I'm looking at it. We're maintaining bullishness from down here. You don't count the failed high as a weakness. No, I don't. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. For me, weakness is, did it break something? Right. So in a bullish market, what's important? The lows, right? The lows are important. So let's just say we do this, right? Let's say that hypothetically, let's say that this comes up here, right? And we break. And then we do this. And then we do this. And then we do this. Is that any of that weakness? Even though we failed to make a new high? No, because we're making lower highs. This is still telling me that buyers are in control. And even if we did this, boom, right, and swept, we're still bullish from here, right? Like, can we come into, 80% of this and then go higher? 100%. That's exactly what UCAD did. Yeah. That's how I personally treat it. If you see it differently, then treat it differently. You don't have to attack it like I do, yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm doing with UChef, right? We'll see what this does. But now that I see what happened during New York this morning, it's actually It's actually giving me really good cause to think that this is just going to go higher from where we're at, that we're not going to get a type 1. But regardless, I'm going to still need this high up here to get taken before I come back and play out of this, right? Because this is here's your distribution. That's your creek, right? And then this is your shakeout. So, like when you're looking at it, here's your distro. You have your 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, right? So this is a shakeout. So that's what I'd want price to come back into. And, this potentially gets me back into a buy out of it. What's holding intraday structure on this pair? I don't know, bro. Some of your chart. What do you got? Give me your thought on what intraday is for you. If price breaks below the accumulation, would you look into sells from the distro? No, I do not. For me to get involved in sells, we would need to break this down here. Yeah, for me to get involved in shorts. So, because let's just say this breaks, right? And you could see my alerts. These are my buy areas, right? This is where I'd love for price to come here, because realistically, this, I have a limit order set out of that, and then this is the reaccumulation that causes that break. So, I'd love for price to come right in here and give me my entry to take it higher, because now I can capitalize on a 93 200. This is like a 800 pip move to get to the upside, and I would love that all day long. So yeah. What's my bias on gold? I have none. I haven't looked at gold in probably 2 weeks. My guess is it's still sideways, unless someone says differently. I'll look at it, but I'm pretty confident that it's been sideways for weeks and months. I'm sure I haven't seen anything in the news recently that's going to give me any kind of indication otherwise. So let's see what you got, bro. No, that's not intraday. Yeah, that's not intraday. If you're expecting intraday, so if this was your intraday BOS, look at this. This is your intraday BOS. You know that you're maintaining from here. So when you break this right here, that means that if this is your new high and this is your previous high, that means that this needs to be intraday. Does that make sense, bro? Yeah, just remind me when we get to the end. We'll look at like I know where my buy orders on BTC are. Like I said, 5,700 all the way up to 5,700 all the way up to like 8,800 is where my buy limits are. So okay. Okay, so that's UJ, right? So let's look at UJ. On UJ, right? Pretty much same thing. We've reaccumulated, right? We've reaccumulated. Nothing. I don't remember what. Of course, you can. Of course. Okay, so the distro here, right? I'm sure a lot of people were trying to sell out of it, and I was actually looking at a potential hedge on it until we got confirmation from the dollar, right? Once we got that, man, I said it to everybody that I was no longer looking for the shorts. I just wait for the reaccumulation. So nothing about this, right? Hopefully everybody agrees. Nothing about this is showing weakness. So I don't foresee a reason for us to do anything into structure points. So it's just playing order flow, right? So what's my current order flow? I mean, here she is right there, right? That's your manipulation. That's your essentially your shakeout. And when we break today during, New York session, that's it. That's what I'm looking at. So, what is the slingshot? She's sitting right here. What is our, ideally, what do I want to play out of is something in here, but I will give an attempt if I'm up for it, right? Depending on when we come into this, but I will give an attempt out of here. I mean, this to me, is like the bread and butter, man. This is what I want to see. I want to see, okay, so we got our slingshot reaccumulation. We've got, Frankfurt opens up here. This is your London price action. What did that do? It swept Asian liquidity and played right into your previous reaccumulation during, New York session. Okay. So, and then from there, what do? We made a new high. So when price was here, right, when we broke and we were here this morning, what did I want to see? Well, you could see my alert. You could see Asian liquidity just sitting all nice and cozy. And I want to see us sweep it, come back into this area right here. And this is what gets me into the trade. So it's still 100% viable. I just need us now to trade that 200 pips down because it's going to take a minute to get down here. If we can get down there, great. And that's what I'll be looking for. This is my very first area that I put risk on, right? This is what gets me to get into this trade. Now, if we trade below it and it doesn't give me a reason to get into this trade, what do I play into? All right, so come on down. This is that Japanese yen from last week on Friday, or I guess my Thursday night. That's the news from the yen. So play into the manipulation. We know that's the manipulation. Play into that. I like how it falls in between the 50 and 80 of the entire reaccumulation. So we get up into this area here. All right, sounds great. Come on down. Let me get into this. I don't really have a reason for us to trade below that. So, we'll see how it ends up playing. Yeah. I mean, UJ for me, I'll tell you what, sad as it is, I've been missing out on a lot of UJ plays. I mean, it's year over year. I think since 2020, I've been trying to buy UJ and hold, cause we started looking at buys on UJ, flipping A, man, way the hell down here. I mean, even if you guys remember at the end of the year, we were looking for buys out of here. But I started looking for buys right in here, right? This was where I started looking for my major buys on UJ. And I've just been missing out tremendously, by, inches, so UJ has just been a thorn in my side, and not because I've been taking losses on it, just because every time I go to take an entry, she either misses me by a couple pipettes or she does this, like I'll be waiting, okay, yeah, we break, right? We break and all right, come on back down. Nope. She decides she's going to go for 1,500 pips. So, unfortunately it is what it is, but, definitely without a doubt, the reaccumulation, I know I have these marked out as reaccumulations. Hold on. All right. Well, it is what it is. This reaccumulation is what gets my attention right now. So we'll see how that plays. Do I plan to sell into my buys? No, I don't. Yeah. Unless it comes into a higher time frame point of interest to the left, which I think we're like 500 pips away from it. I have no desire to try to sell UJ. I'm not trying to sell a bullish market. Yeah. How can you improve your hedging position? Demo it. I mean, that's honestly how I had to do it. Demo it, because the management side of it is extremely difficult. Understanding it's, and I'll tell you right now, the difficult part isn't finding the position. That's honestly your easiest step. Managing it and understanding, so you're in a buy and a sell, you've hedged the positions from the legs. How much do you take off of what position, volume wise, and how do you, because you got to think the whole point of your hedge is not to make money. The whole point of your hedge is to protect the position that's pro trend, so that you don't have to, essentially the hedge position is what's going to allow you to keep open longer volume or larger volume, the bias position, right? The directional bias one, the pro trend one, if you would say. Okay. So, but yeah, I'll tell you right now, it probably took me, and I still, that's probably my weakest part of trading is hedging. I still get some of it wrong. I still make not critical errors, but I still make mismanagement errors where, man, I should have taken more volume off this hedge, or I should have, seen the market, start to show that, that momentum shift, and not, not protect my, my pro bias trade, and ended up, either leaving a lot on the table or something like that. So it takes a lot of practice, demo it. That's the best advice I give you. Yeah. So anyway, this is UJ. It's pretty simple, right? Very, very simple. And hold on, give me 1 second. I just got to grab my water here. Alrighty. There we go. Yeah. So UJ is pretty easy. Going over to chef crosses, right? So all the chef crosses or chef crosses, JPY crosses, all the yen crosses, pretty much the same. Last week I was really just being patient with them. What I wanted to do is I wanted to, let's zoom out for a second, right? Nothing about Chef JPY is showing any weakness, right? Nothing about Chef JPY. So, obviously, we could see the reaccumulation. We could see that we're in this leg right here. We can see that this was a reaccumulation continuation move. So obviously, if we come back into this, I'd love to catch that move to go to the upside. I don't see a reason for it, right? I don't see us doing that. So what do I have to do? This is where you got to play the order flow, right? So, what I would be, what I'd be looking for is, all right, so what do we have? We have a confirmed reaccumulation. All right. So hold on. So we have a confirmed reaccumulation. All right. We know that New York price action is essentially your shakeout. And then what do we have? We have our slingshot within that. So one of the things I'd like to have seen was I wanted to see price come back in to mitigate the manipulation, right? This swept Asian liquidity. Here's your Frankfurt move. There's your London move, right? We know that this was the manipulation. So what does price do? Price comes back in, right? During New York session, mitigates it, and then makes a new high. So when we were here this morning, what was I looking to play? I was looking to play out of that right there. That's what I wanted to play, right? I wanted to play, this is where sometimes the seconds time frame is invaluable. I wanted to play the micro or the super micro accumulation that was in there. There it is right there, right? Here's you've got trading, there's your trading range. You got your 1, 2, 3 drives. And that's your manipulation. That's your spring. So measure out your spring. That's 80%. Do we break and do we come back to 50? Yes, we do. Right? Yes, we do. So if we came back, where was I going to throw some risk on? It was going to be out of that 80, So, and, for the cause of it, it made sense. We've got a bunch of Asian liquidity here. If we can sweep it down, this was what was it? It's a 1.2 pip stop, right? So this is something that I definitely would play out of that micro. And do we go all the way down there? If you measure out just the move, right? Just the shakeout, because this would be just your shakeout here during New York session, that's your 80%. So, if price does come down there, you can see my alert sitting right over here. If price does come into this area, I pulled the trigger on a schematic, especially if this comes Thursday or Friday. Tomorrow, I definitely still take it if it comes in tomorrow. I just don't know if we're going to get there. We're 150 pips. So potentially, yeah. Chef J likes to move. So, we get down to this area here. I'm game on it. What's the R to R on the original one? The lowest one, it broke 1 to 1400 when we hit all-time highs. So, and that was last week. Man, I don't even know what it's at right now. Let's see. We went to, here it is right here. So she is sitting at the highest today. She got up to a 1 to 1700 minus spread. And then the one that I took off of the 2-hour candle is sitting at a 1 to 310. So, but yeah, 1 to 1700, and yeah, there's no reason for me to close it. Right. Just look at what we've done. Any weakness in any of this now. So I want to continue to hold, for me, what was my original target was 136, and we broke through that. We demolished 136. And now, yeah, I'm just going to continue to hold this. So the spread on it I'm not the spread. The swap isn't so bad on it. I'm still making a pretty nice little penny on it. So Um, yeah, and again, same thing, right? Like we look at it and you could see, what did I want? I wanted, I wanted us to come back in. Well, we just never did. So you've got to play the continuation plays. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but by by far, this is the first area I'm going to be looking. Obviously, if we break that and we come back into, this move right here, that's where I'm buying again. And of course, if we break that, I'd be expecting this. So I just don't see a reason for us to get down there. I think honestly, we're just going to continue to ride this up. So that's Chef JPY. The other yen crosses GJ. I mean, it's all pretty similar. Just look to see. We've been bullish on GJ for a while. We broke the high. We wanted to see us now come back and mitigate essentially this move right here. Just look at where we're at. I mean, you can see the perfect accumulation right in there. And now what am I waiting for? Where we're at, it's no longer viable for me to take an entry, right? It's no longer worth the risk. What do I want to just see? Just break the high, come back into whatever our slingshot is, right? Or come back into let's see it, right? So where we're at right now, we either, if let's just say hypothetically we do this, boom, and we pop up. Well, this is my slingshot. And this is my number 2 point of interest, right? That's where I'm playing from. That's the only thing I care about. So GJ is going to be just a sit and wait. I'm actually going to move GJ over to secondary list because there's nothing for me to play at this point, right? I don't, this morning, once we confirmed the reaccumulation, if we came back into here, I'd play it. But at this point now, it's just, where we're at, I just need it to break the, 40 plus pips, whatever this is, 38 pips, break the high, and then I come back in. NJ, much of the same, right? NJ doing a really, really good job. And here's an example. I don't remember who asked me before, but like a failure to make a high doesn't show weakness. No, it doesn't. Right? Because when we come over here, let's just look at NJ here for a second, right? Nothing about NJ is showing weakness, right? When price comes and plays into this, well, we can all agree that's a distribution, right? That distribution does what? It just sends us right into our slingshot. That's all it was. That distribution was designed for one thing. It was buyers mitigating out of positions, taking profits, pushing it back in so they can buy some more. Right. So, am I looking to short this market? Heck no. Right. Okay. We came into whatever it is. Shoot, it looks like 80%. We came into 80%. Should I be shorting this? Absolutely not. For me, at least I'm not. Right. What am I doing? I'm buying this sucker. Am I buying it from where we're at? No. What do I want to see at this point? Just like GJ, right? We are within order flow right here. So this is all I care about. Now we come here and we make a new high. All right, now is where I'm comfortable at coming back into this area here, mitigating out of this so that we could push this higher. So the buys that I get into here, if I do work a buy into, say this week, are going to be short-lived. They're only going here. I'm going to take most of the volume off when we get there because I'd be anticipating the break back down. I'm not going to close the whole thing because God forbid we get a move like all these other yen crosses. We get a move where, I don't know, price, breaks the high here and just goes up for 1,500 pips. I don't want to miss out on it. So I'd rather have, maybe a smaller position holding volume than not being in the trade at all. Right. So that's something I'm going to focus on. Right. I like NJ where it's at. Right. I'm going to be looking for buys, probably, London crossover. I'll be looking for buys. The one thing though, that I do not like about this reaccumulation is the accumulation occurred during Asian, right? This is the Frankfurt Open. Frankfurt mitigates the type 1 accumulation. It is what it is. It just means I can't put a limit order. So what am I going to do? I just wait for the schematic, right? We break into here. Give me a schematic. I'll play the schematic. I'm not going to play a limit order. And much goes for AJ as well, right? AJ, exact same price action, right? You could see the essentially the news is still what is controlling this leg. So if we come in there, great. Bigger picture, where are we? I mean, it's the same. We haven't made a new high, but ultimately, what can I see? I can see that from an order flow perspective, right? When we broke this and then we broke here, we're now in this right here, right? And then this essentially is my slingshot. So I'm in a bullish market. I don't necessarily need us to make new highs. I just need to see that intent. I just need to see the order flow, or I need to see reason that buyers are coming into this market. So all these yen crosses, I'll be looking for buys. I'm just going to be playing out of the lowest form of order flow on it. And then the last one, CAJ, same thing on CAJ, right? CAJ, here we go on CAJ. So CAJ, we know, right? We know that we're here, right? After this break, we know we're here. So, does price come back in? It does, right? Do we confirm that, that break of order flow? We do. So now simple, if we come back into here, I'm buying it. That's the bigger view on it. Well, what's going on lower time frame? Lower time frame, pretty much the same concept, right? Where is my slingshot, right? This is the cause of breaking our redistro, right? Because that's what that is. It's a redistro, right? So what can I build in here? What can I see or evidence can I get into looking for a buy on CAJ? Well, everything lives and dies with, all right, so we know that's your Frankfurt move. Frankfurt causes the break of reaccumulation. New York mitigates it. New York causes a new high. We come back in to mitigate the New York reaccumulation by sweeping Asian liquidity, and we make a new high. So for me, that's my target right here, right? Frankfurt open to the London, right? To the London mitigation. So London manipulated that Asian liquidity, came in to mitigate out of here. So, this is what I'm looking at, right? Price comes back into here, sweeps out yesterday's Asian, I'm a buyer from here to take this higher on CAJ. So that's ultimately how I'm looking at all these yen crosses. Have I done EU? Yeah, I do. Yeah. You find it as inducement? All right, good. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm looking for my buy out of here. Yeah. That's ultimately how I'll be looking at it. So all the yen crosses, that's how I'm going to be looking at target. NZD and ACAD, right? NZD CAD, ACAD. I'm still very much bearish on these, right? Nothing has really changed. I was waiting to see, do we get back up here? We haven't, right? Then, we know that we're here. So, I definitely wanted to see, can price come back into this price action up here? Unfortunately, she decided not to. So what do I want to play out of now? Well, we know that we broke an order flow, right? That was our break of order flow. And do we have a manipulation? Yeah, I mean, that's our manipulation. So I'm looking to see, can price give me a reason to walk this down from our smallest form of order flow, right? What I want to see is just play the continuation move, play the redistros. So we never saw mitigation coming back up to the upside, but what we do have is we do have the redistro. So here's your redistro. If we do walk up back into, essentially that distribution right there is what I'd be looking at. If we walk back into that redistro, and, realistically, we may not even go all the way up to it. So we could see something along the lines of this right there. So can price give me a schematic here, right? That's what I want to see on NCAD. If it does, great. And I'll just play the continuation move. We saw price come in here, break the low, right? And after breaking the low, we know that this right here is your redistribution, essentially the slingshot that causes it. So following the market cycle, we, clean as day, you could see the distro, you could see the redistro. And what does price do out of that redistro? Well, price comes in, triggers into the 80% of it, and gives you a type 1. In that type 1, what are they doing? They're filling those sell orders, and they've mitigated it, right? I mean, that right there is your mitigation. So that is golden. Can we come back up into the 80% of that, we can, right? I mean, we can come back into the 80% of that. But that was the mitigation to shoot this down. So now what gets me to this trade is play the redistro, right? We come, do we need to come all the way up to that 80? No. I mean, can they play into, can they come in and play into this move right here? Absolutely. Right. Overall, that's what they need to come back to mitigate. So we'll see how that plays. You just bought GU. All right. Good luck with that. Good luck with the buy, man. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, for me, I'm not really looking for buys on GU, but yeah. Yeah. So on NCAD, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking at. Would I look at ECAD? Geez, man. I haven't looked at ECAD in a long time. I mean, we could give it a shot. Yeah. I haven't, I'll tell you, I don't see. Yeah, I mean, we can. I don't know. I haven't looked at ECAD in a very long time, man. And then ACAD's the same story. I mean, ACAD is, here's ACAD. I mean, ACAD's just a simple play, right? I mean, we had the distribution, we broke the low, so we know that we were here, right? And I mean, what does she play into? We know that, hold on. We know that we know that's their buy, and we know she ended up U-tatting from here. So 80% is where I'd be looking. And you've got a type 1 micro right in there, which that's what she comes in to mitigate. So now that we've broken the reaccumulation that got there, immediately this is, I thought I marked this out already. Hold on. Maybe I did on a lower time frame. Yeah, I know I marked this out. All right. Anyway, so we know that we invalidated demand here, right? So the reaccumulation that caused that is done. So now I know that the bigger picture is coming back to mitigate here. I also know that we've got our redistribution sitting right in here. So do we come back into mitigating this leg right here? This is the area ideally that I'm looking for price to come into, right? So we do that, we get up into here, this is where I'm looking, right? And then just continue to short this. I know a lot of people took some losses on ACAD because of this right here, right? I know a lot of people looked at this as a break and, we're going higher with it, but all day long I've been trying to short this. This here gave me no reason to look for the buys. So especially where we were located from, so right now, from a leg perspective, this distro is still controlling it, right? We're still here. So, and this is honestly what's maintaining the, this leg here. So we came into it very nicely. Targets are going to be all making lows. So that's how I'm looking at it. And then ECAD. So let's look at ECAD, man. What are you trying to do with ECAD? What was the last, let's see. What was the last thing I did with ECAD? Maybe on FXCM. Oh, so the last time I marked up ECAD was, May 2022. That's what well, geez, there you go. Here's pretty much what I said and I was looking for. Come back into here, which I'm guessing that's what she did. So you're looking for shorts. Did we break that low? All right, yeah. I mean, you're on the right side of it. I'd be looking for shorts as well. What are we looking bigger picture? Yeah, I'll tell you right now, the last trade I took on UCAD was in here. On ECAD. That was my last trades. My physical last trades were in here, which was October 2020. That was my last. Yeah, I haven't traded ECAD since then. So I don't know though. We may be. No, no, shorts. Yeah, shorts are in. And we're not, she ain't going to do anything under there. All right. So yeah, she's got a really clean distro. So let's see. Ooh, nice little New York manipulation. I like it. I like it. Target of 35.20. No, I mean, well, you do how you want. I mean, if I'm getting into a short, I'm targeting a new low. So if I was shorting this, I'm targeting 33.90. Yeah. There ain't no point to 35.20. Yeah, no. I mean, we're definitely in a bearish leg. Let's see. This type 1 is where I'm playing. What do we do? Did we break? Where did we break? We broke that. So this is your slingshot. That's your slingshot, and this. So that's your point of interest number 1, and this is point of interest number 2. So I'd probably have a limit on this. What is it? Let's see. Is it 11-minute? 10-minute? 12, 13, 14. Oh, come on. Is it the 14? I think it's the 14. Where's that line up? That looks pretty big though. Let's see. 9 pips. It is what it is. I got you. You take partials at 35.20. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like the type 1 in here. This is definitely clean. I don't think she comes back to even try to mitigate it, right? Let's see. Does she come back at all? Nah, she just collapses from here. All right, so that's the first. And then where's this redistro? What happens in this redistro? Let us see. Let us see. All right, so New York Open. New York Open. All right, so what's our high? So here's my low that needs to get broken. Yeah. All right, so where do we break? We break right. Oof. Maybe I'll do a Thomas. Let's see. Does it break on the line chart? No, line chart made it even worse. Well, I mean, she mitigates this move though. Yeah. All right. So that's mitigated. So now, and obviously we mitigate this move here. Yeah, let's see. She make a new low. She makes a new low. All right, let's see. On the money, man. On the money. All right, so perfect. Hold on, let me All right. So you're mitigated out of here. So now you're going to, now this redistro is where it's at. That's the redistro. Let's see. So right out of New York. New York manipulation is where I'd be at. Does she come back? Oh, stop. Let's see. Does she come back? Where's she come back into? No, not quite enough. Not quite enough. Let's see. Have I covered EG? No, I haven't covered EG yet. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that right there gets my attention. It just sucks. I would have preferred some kind of manipulation into that to mitigate it. But yeah, shorts look good, man. I'd be all over the shorts. Especially right. I mean, like if you look at it from comparable strength, you know, what am I on UCAD? I'm bullish as crap on UCAD. I'm looking for buys. So if I'm looking for buys on UCAD, then ECAD, I got to be looking for shorts. So yeah, keep in mind, I mean, this right here, that right there is, if price gets there, I think that's the one that gets you the nice R to R. It just sucks that 80% is just a huge stop loss. So yeah, you got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's ECAD. And then EG. Oh yeah, I know somebody was all happy about EG. So EG, I'll tell you what, I'm at the point where I'm almost ready for the buys. You know, so where are we on EG? Right. We are, I mean, this to me is my target, right? EG, that's where I'm coming. I'm coming into that. So what gets me into the buy though? So bigger picture, right? Bigger picture, we get into this move right here, right? Price comes back down into ideally this, right? This gets me into my buy from a higher time frame. What gets me into my buy from a lower time frame now is we are, I guess it doesn't change actually. So we are, because of this reaccumulation here, this is my slingshot, and it looks like price is already tapped into it. So ideally what I need to see is I need to see an accumulation somewhere here, right? Accumulation there. And this is my line in the sand. I don't want us to trade below that. That's what gets me up the, you know, whatever it is. What is it, like four? What are we at? We're at 85, let's say, and 92. So, I mean, that gets me up to 700 pips, because this is ultimately, we know that they're coming back to mitigate this, right? That's what they're coming back to. And this is 80% of it. Here's your 50% of it. And you've got a distro sitting in there. So I would venture to say that's going to be my X marks the spot. That's where I think they're going to kind of trade into. So, yeah, and that's pretty much gold. Somebody want to look at gold? Yeah, I'll tell you. Let's just see what has gold done. Yeah, nothing. Gold has done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Where is? Hold on, let me go over to commodities. What has gold done? I know I was looking for a buy out of something, but I honestly, I didn't give it too much attention, just because for me, gold is, yeah, here's the buy I was potentially looking at when we reaccumulated. But the fact that we came into 50% of the distro, right? Once we came into this, which was maintaining our leg, our order flow leg, now it was a matter of just look for the shorts. So, but realistically, I mean, where are we? We're nowhere. This is something I said the other time. Someone asked me to look at gold. We've been stuck since, realistically, we're stuck here, right? We're stuck here. Yeah. I mean, realistically, that's where we're at right here. That's where we're at. So, I mean, there's nothing that gets me into gold positions. Now, silver, on the other hand, a little different, right? Silver, I've got the clear direction, silver, if we, ideally I was looking for us to come back up into here. I'm holding out for, down in here. This is where I'm holding out for some silver buys. Um, what gets me into silver. Yeah, I mean, I've got this right here. I've got this alert because when we break that alert, whatever happens here is going to be the new order flow. And that's what I'll play out of. But until we make that new low, there's just nothing for me to do unless we come up higher. We come up higher, I'm definitely going to be looking for shorts out of here, but I just don't think fundamentally there's any reason for silver to get up there. I think if you look at it, I mean, silver's definitely had a better move than gold because gold, what have we done in the last, what has gold done in the last 47 days? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah. What time frame do I mark up my schematics from? The lowest I'll mark them up on is the 1 second. The biggest time frame that I'll use to mark up is, I've never done a monthly, but I've done the weeklies. So I'll mark it up on the weeklies as well. So everything from the 1 second up to the weekly is what I'll use. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's dive over to indices. I know we've been on here a while. My bad. Indices wise, right? So, if you haven't back tested the last 2 weeks of price action, I definitely suggest you do. We'll start with NASDAQ. Gave just freaking phenomenal entries. Lots of massive entries. Where do I feel indices are coming? We're coming for this. I'll bet the house on it that we're coming for that. Really, really clean that we're coming into that. The distribution across the board, the distribution was very, very simple. Same thing, where are we coming on U30? I'm looking 27, 26K in here, but realistically, I want to see if we can get into that. If we can get into that, that's wishful thinking. But, once we confirm this massive distribution, it was just super, super simple. I first started looking at it. When was it? I first started looking at this thing in October. Yeah, here we go. October 25th is where I started looking at the distro, and I've been targeting it ever since October. Short this sucker down. So when we look at NASDAQ, just super clean. Start looking for areas and reasons why price is doing what it's doing. You can kind of see like this was the reaccumulation. So if you measure out this move, no coincidence that price reacts right off that 80. So that's why I was looking for some short-term buys on them. Because where's the short coming from? I mean, that distro right there is the short. This is the order flow, right? So, I was looking to buy it up into the short area. But again, this isn't high probability. This for me is high probability. So, what I'm ultimately looking for is the opportunity to get and hold these shorts into those key areas. Definitely go back and back test last week's price action. I mean, but yeah, I mean, we were in an area of supply. Um, I mean, super, super clean price action out of last week, Wednesday and Thursday. We came into the slingshot that caused the break, right? This is the leg out of the confirmed type one. And, what do? If you go into this type one distro and you put up your 80%, price just gets thwarted from that. And then what do? Just play the redistro, right? Price comes right back into 50% of the redistro and just massively sells off. And then of course you had a really good shorting opportunity out of here. So what do I see on SPX? I mean, we're at the place now. This is the FOMC candle, right? FOMC candle. And what I need to see, are we in an area of supply? Yeah, absolutely. Did we give? I think we did actually. Let's see. And this is what I was looking at pre-market. New York session came in. I wanted to see, do we get price to come back into this accumulation so I can buy it up to that area? Never gave me the entry. So it is what it is. I didn't hold a lot of hope this morning. I had said that I really wasn't expecting price to give us that entry, but we do distribute, right? I mean, we get our distribution up here, really clean distro. You start seeing redistro. So now the question is, do we break, right? Do we break this order flow? So tomorrow morning, if we're below here, I'm definitely looking shorts. If we show signs of accumulation in here, yeah, I mean, I'll take it up. I don't mind it. I'm holding plenty of short positions on indices that the buys for me are just going to be hedges. So I don't have to take more partials out of my shorts. Yeah, no, BTC is going for 10K, man. It has to. At this point, it's inevitable. We're coming into 10K. Actually, we're going to come below 10K. I'm pretty sure we're going to come into like that 5,700 to like 8,500 price point. When you look at BTC's chart, there's no reason not to come down into that. So yeah, I mean, that's my play with NASDAQ. I want to see, this is going to be where we're at. This is going to be the key, right? If we start to see signs of accumulation tomorrow morning, equities open, I'm going to be buying them and I'm going to be taking them higher. If we break this, then I'm going to be looking to just play the continuation move. That translates SPX very nicely as well, right? For indices, German 30 has amazing price action. Awesome, man. Yeah. We came in, right? We came in distro very nicely in the 50%, right? 50% of our redistribution. And ultimately, what was I looking to do? Just confirm another redistro. So right now we are here. This is where I'd love to sell from. This is maintaining our order flow. So same concept, right? I was looking for the buy up into this area here. I don't mind playing the little ping pong game on indices. It's, for me, they're worth the risk. And, what do I want to see? Again, FOMC candle, right? This is something I was looking at yesterday. I want to see us come back and mitigate out of here. So it looks like we actually did towards the end of, yeah, look at that beautiful type one, man. All right. So looks like we did really nice distribution out of here. I'm sure we had some divergence. Let's see. Oh yeah, we had tons of divergence. Look at that. Beautiful divergence. So for me, this gave me all the check boxes to start looking for the short out of it. I'm guessing the only problem is it happened at like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, which I'm not trading. So again, same thing. What happens when we get into pre-market here? That's going to be the key. I'll take a look tomorrow morning. If we start to see evidence of accumulation here, yeah, I'll be taking it up, and if we break it, then the buys are 100% done with me. And I'm just looking shorts the whole way, play the continuation moves. So trading on a demo account, would you recommend being more cautious and taking only very clean trades, or using the demo to trade, entering? No, use your demo, get as much data as you can, journal everything. Obviously take as much as you can journal, but you want your demo is what's going to teach you what's good and what's bad. All right. So Like I gave you an example. Why don't I trade during Asian session? Because when I demo traded and I marked even not demo trading, just back testing, and I put all of that data in to my journal, immediately that the data showed me not to trade during Asian, so take whatever confirmations, and be aggressive. The more data you get, the more you can, extrapolate that analytical information and use it to your advantage. Your demo your demo account shouldn't be to make monopoly money, right? Your demo account should be to iron out your confirmations, your trading plan, your risks, understand, like I still, to this day, I still demo trade. I still have two demo trades or two demo accounts. And, like when I need to work on, maybe some more order flow plays, or, like the whole Frankfurt price action thing, right? When we started developing what confirmations I needed to do out of that, yeah, it was all in the demo. Get into it, get as much data as you can. I don't care if I win or lose on that demo. All I care about is the data. I think the data is more important than whatever that demo account's going to end up with. So yeah. Hold on one second. What is she sending me now? Oh, geez. Okay. If you caught that 50% short on SPX, when would you partial out, considering that demand is right there? Yeah, I mean, if you caught, or what are you saying? You caught that right there? If you caught that right there, or if you caught something in there, yeah. I mean, I'd be. It depends on what your game plan is. If your game plan is to hedge in, um, if I would hold what I have, let's just say hypothetically you get that and you catch that buy, right? The minute you come here and you're now break even or reduce risk on the buy, I would go ahead and partial out significant out of the sells, right? If you go to take that buy and it claps you out, then maybe partial out at the break, right? When you break here, partial out, just pay yourself, maybe 2 times what you lost here. So if you risk, say $250, maybe pay yourself $500 on it. That way you can, eat back the 250 you lost plus an extra 250. And then I'd be, the directional bias is bearish. We're in an area, we're in that 50%. So, definitely be looking to hold more shorts than buys on it. So that's how I would play it. What indicators shows the Frankfurt session? You just got to make it up. Like I use any of the session indicators and just change it. So like my Frankfurt is London session. I just make it the Frankfurt price action. Did you focus on one pair, gathering all the data? No. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely started with one pair. I started with CAD-J. That was the first pair that I started like isolating and back testing and demo trading. But, I mean, that was, maybe like a week's worth. And then, you start adding on to it. And now at this point, like when I go to back test or get information for my journal, or, it's typically every week I just look back and say, all right, so what moves did I miss? What did I miss the previous week? What did I see go 1,400 pips, or 400 pips, or even 40 pips? Like what did I miss, and back test that price action and start extrapolating that info. Do I provide any course? No, I don't do a course, man. Demos don't have spread. It depends on your demo. If you're, like my suggestion, just open up an FTMO demo or do a TPT, or I don't know if my Forex Funds does it, but I know TPT and FTMO do, and they have spread. So use it, do it as much as real life as you can. Actually, I think even my FX Choice demo that I have, my wife, even my FX Choice demo that I've had for, I don't know, 4 years, still has spread in it. Should you journal the back tests? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how else do you like log your data? Like, how do you know, unless I mean, you have to somehow keep that data, and all of its information. And if you're keeping that data somewhere, that's your journal, right? That's, as you know, it doesn't have to be a line by line journal. It just has to have, you have to have a way of extrapolating that information so you can make your best decisions and choices on how you're going to proceed with your, your trading plan. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm all caught up. All right, cool. Awesome, man. Good job. Um, do your partial rules change from challenge accounts to live accounts? Yeah. If you're trying to do a challenge or verification, my suggestion is partial out, partial often. You know, yeah. I mean, unless you catch a play like UCAD, right? Like if you catch, like if you know that you're coming in, if you know you're coming into the extreme of the leg right here, like I'm not partialing out, here and here and here and here, right? What am I doing a partial? I'm paying myself here. I'm paying myself the risk of the trade. All right, that's it. Pay a little. And then what am I doing? Right. Then I'm going to be looking to take this sucker up to this high. Right. I mean, I got in at the low, and once we broke and it's risk free because I've paid myself the risk of the trade, if we go lower, we go lower. If we go lower, then, I have no hope that this is going to maintain anything. We're essentially going to redistribute into an area of demand, which is going to cause me concern looking for those buys. So, this play here is a whole lot different than trying to play out of here and hold it for 500 pips because this is the target. So, but I could tell you that, once this broke here, I was probably, I definitely closed two orders there. So 50% was closed out here. And then I think something like 12% was here. So, realistically, what's that, 62%? So, I mean, 28% is still what I'm holding in volume on UCAD. So yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, going back to indices, I mean, they're all pretty much the same play. I would be on SPX. I'm looking to see what we do out of here. Do we distribute or do we push higher? Because definitely this is where I'd want to play. Same thing, like if you haven't, and I know I didn't do a Zoom call last week, but the week before, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday gave just tremendous opportunities. So, if you haven't back tested it, I mean, there was plenty of opportunity to, I don't even know if I can, let's see. Yeah, there was plenty of opportunity to get into some massive shorts. So you don't even need the seconds time frame. I mean, there was a clean distro in here that you could have taken on. This was Wednesday New York session. The Thursday play. So I missed this one pre-market. I got onto the charts at like 8. So we were down here, but you had this one in here, and then beautiful redistribution, right? And there's your shakeout. You just measure it out and play the schematic there. And that right there was the beast. Because we just collapse after that. Just super, super clean price action in all of these. So ideally, this is where I'd like for us to short from the next big leg. If we don't, no big deal. Like I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But I do want to see, is this what we're going to mitigate out of and then push lower? Right. So like if we break this right here, I'm just playing out of here to short this. And, tomorrow morning, if we buy up, I'm going to be looking to at least get back up into here and then see if I can hedge into that short. So long term, I'm bearish as can be on indices. Obviously this is the area I want to sell from, right? This up here. And same goes for U30, right? U30, I want us to get, let's see. There we go. U30, same concept, right? Like we're in the area where I want to sell from, right? The bigger sell that I want to get involved in is up here, and you could see a lot of work went into this. I definitely shorted the crap out of those. And where are we right now? We're at a discount, so these aren't trades that I'm throwing a lot of risk into. But this morning I was looking for the buy, and we may get the buy, coming into market open tomorrow. We definitely had the manipulation during New York price action. U30 was the only one that gave it. So if we come back to mitigate this, right, this is the area right here that I'd be looking for the potential buy if it gives it to me. And if it doesn't, I just want it to break so that I can look for shorts out of here, and just keep shorting the market. All right. Do you place limit orders only at the extreme of the structure or the order flow as well? Do I take limit orders out of an order flow? It depends. It depends what the order flow is, where it's at, what it's done. I mean, yes, I do. I do play limits out of order flow, but it's all dependent on the scenario. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing with indices. I'm holding all my shorts. I'm not closing any of my shorts out. I'm partialing out, but I'm holding all of them. So the youth, I'm in from here. Actually, I got taken out of this one. But I am from here and I'm in from here. So all of these shorts, 26K is where I'm taking them to. So I'm continuing to hold those suckers. I'll pay the swap fee. I don't care. Even on my future side, like I trade the future side of it, and there's no swap fees on futures. So I'll hold the contracts open on them. I'll just keep shorting them. That's pretty much everything I'm looking at. On the crypto side, BTC. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty adamant that once we broke that 29K, right? Once we broke this low right here, that we're coming, we are gunning for this right here. This is where we're coming. Without a doubt, we are coming into this right here. So, that like 5,700 to like 9,000 is where I see us coming into, and if you just look at it, right. Where is it at? Let's see. So the 2017 to 2018 bear market that we saw price come in dropped 83%, right? That was an 83% drop. So what does that translate to from our highs here? Well, an 87% drop puts us at the 50% of this reaccumulation. So, that's ideally where I'm looking, and where we're sitting at right now is we've only seen a 74% drop. So yeah, this is where I'm at right here. I want to see us come back and mitigate this. This will be, I'm not interested in personally buying any more BTC until we get down there. I bought 3,600 in March of 2020. So, and I cashed out a couple of them at 60K. So I've got those that liquidity just waiting for buys in here. And I've got kind of like my 19 to 21K on BTC tonight, where I have no idea. Tonight. Yeah. I'm not much of a like time trader. Yeah. I mean, what is BTC doing? What the heck is all of this, man? What is all of this? Oh, okay. I know what this is. All right. Yeah, I mean, you can see the redistro. I mean, we just tapped the 50%. So, I mean, can we drop from here? Sure. Can we come potentially up into, this push here? Yeah. Can we, realistically, that's the lowest form of order flow right here. So can it give one more push to the upside before dropping? Sure. Can this just be a larger accumulation? It can. I mean, where it's at, like I'm personally not even planning on margin trading it, because we're in no man's land. Like this right here, You could see we've mitigated what was left of this area of demand, but, ideally, could we potentially see BTC come into the 30K mark to sell off again? Sure. Can it come back up into this? That was the slingshot that broke that. Even better, potentially we could see it come back up 40, 42K before selling off again, so yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm personally not planning on margin trading BTC. I'm just going to set up for the long-term, hold on it, and that's going to come in the course of us getting down to here. So, and you also got to look at it like this, right? Right now, for those of you guys don't understand, like the mining aspect of it, BTC's proof of work, right? In order for, we go from one blockchain or one block count to the other, there has to be a computer, right? It has to be a mining rig that performs the algorithmic check and balance and the redundancy in that blockchain to confirm its security. At some point, as this keeps getting lower, and if the difficulty or the hash rate for BTC doesn't start to drop off, it's going to become no longer profitable to mine BTC. And if you have a big influx of miners shutting off the rig at the same time, it's going to stall the blockchain. And you're going to see that, you're going to see that block time decrease. Ethereum's the same way, right? Like where ideally, where's Ethereum going to, right? ETH is on its way, right? In my opinion, ETH is on its way right here. That's where we're coming. And I can tell you right now, there's people, I mean, just look at the hash rate on what's going on with, there we go. Just look at the hash rate on Ethereum, and we've massively, we've started to see the drop. Let's see. Yeah. So we were around 13, 14 petahash on difficulty. And what are we currently at right now? So we've seen the drop to 13.74. So we've dropped off a little bit on Ethereum. What's BTC's? Let's see, have we seen a drop? No, we haven't seen a drop on BTC. Yeah, we haven't seen a drop. We're actually going higher. So that's the thing that you've got to look at. At some point, it's going to be no longer profitable. And, not only that, but keep up to date what's going on with like proof of stake on Ethereum. There's a lot that can go wrong with it. And I could potentially see the depreciation of it. Yeah. Yeah. But what kind of miner capitulation are you looking at? Are you looking at like the whole miners that maybe account for like 10% of the whole thing? Or, like I'm still making profits on mine, I mean, I am still fully mining Ethereum. I'm just converting it, so like for me, what am I doing? I'm swapping it for another coin. But we've got, what do we got? So my entire rig that I'm mining, 6 and 2, my entire rig. Oh, wait, at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. My entire rig is still making me money. I'm still making after power. I'm still making $14 a day. So when that gets to zero, right? Or yeah, when it gets to zero, I'm shutting it down. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So the drop on difficulty increased our Ethereum profits that we mine. No, it just means that you're netting more coin, right? So like Ethereum right now, block reward is every 2 minutes, 3 seconds, right? I'm sorry, block time is 16 seconds. Block reward is 2 Ethereum right now. So this used to be, right, that used to be like 12 seconds. So we've actually seen an increase to 16 seconds on the block time. And you could see we're down 1% in difficulty, right? Net hash rate is down 1%. So, and across the board, you're starting to see it. I mean, look at this, Raven coins down 1.9% in hash rate. ETC is up actually, 6 on Conflux. Yeah. Firo, this isn't a stretch. When Firo decided they were going to reduce miners payouts, yeah, that wasn't a stretch. And yeah, so it is what it is. Do I have 10? I have 10 3060 Ti's. Yeah. I've only got 3 3060s. Do you also do arbitrage? Yeah. I have a bot that I do that with. Just be careful with that though, because depending on the stable coins that it's doing, you can get slammed pretty good with it, especially the way depegging is happening. I don't know if you guys have kept up with like the Lido, right? For those that don't stake Ethereum on their main, right? Because you don't have 32 Ethereum. If you're staking it through Lido, right? Their ST ETH, right? Their staked ETH actually got depegged. So I don't know if you guys pay attention to that, but staked Ethereum is supposed to be 1-for-1. And that's kind of what's happened with like that 3 arrows. So, I mean, ETH right now is at 1121.91, right? So that means that staked ETH, right, should be at 1121.91. And what's it at right now? It's at 1057. So it's been depegged, which is a big, I mean, think everyone that's done this, right? I don't know if you guys know how to do this, but when you stake it on Lido, you're getting almost like an IOU. Like you give them 1 ETH and they're going to give you a 1 staked ETH in return. And that way, when you go ahead and swap it, you're going to get your 1 ETH back. Well, right now it's not worth 1 ETH, So there's a lot going on in the crypto space. A lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of projects aren't going to survive. Me personally, the projects I'm personally still doing and investing in, Matic has always been a really good, Polygon Network's always been there we go. Dyslexia. Matic has been something I'm big on. You guys know I'm huge on Flux. I actually just did another node. So price of Flux, when it got down to like 42 cents, I bought another 1,000 worth. And my goal is I've got an order at 37 cents to buy 10,000 Flux just so that I can do another Nimbus node. Cause you can run eight nodes from your IP address. Cadena, right? KDA. That's a huge one that I'm waiting on my miner to come in. And I'm definitely going to be just keep stacking up on Cadena, and then Polkadot, right? Those are the big ones I'm doing. And then everything, like if you guys have watched my pre-search, pre-search is a huge one. I mean, especially now the price of pre-search pretty cheap that you can go ahead and stake and run a node on. Especially you can do it if you have a Flux node. I think it cost me 83 cents for the month for me to run 4 pre-search nodes on my Flux node. So, and then Firo is the other one. Firo is the other one that I'm running a node on. So projects that are hybrids, like proof of stake, proof of work, that have good price discovery opportunities, that's what I'm banking on. I don't need to make, because I'm not selling the coins now. I don't need to make money now. I'm looking to make money in 5 years. So if I can potentially get into some of these projects now during the bear market and do it smartly, once we get into the bull market, I'll be positioned pretty damn good. So can you run a Flux node on your mining rig? No. Yeah. Yeah. And going back to like that price point, you got to think how much, some of these large farms have millions of dollars invested in hardware, right? So like talk about BTC, right? Millions of dollars in hardware. So what can they do if they, let's just say that their profit, I don't know, let's just say they make $1 million profit, right? Every year. What is it for them to throw 10 million into a buy position to cause the market to go up 1,000 points? And now they can make that 10 million back that they've invested very quickly just by mining the coin. So that's one of the things that we're starting. You don't just look at the technicals on crypto, because a lot of it has to do with the influences within it. Some of your larger whales of some of these coins are miners. you know some of your especially on the obviously the proof of work side are going to be the miners, because those are the ones where it's got to still be profitable for them to keep their rigs on. And that's something, Bitcoin mining is big business. If you've never looked at the amount of money that is made on Bitcoin mining, it's tremendous. So yeah, that's something definitely to think about. Yeah. How's the trading robot going? No, man, that thing went down. Maybe like March, April. They got hacked, and I know for the most part, a lot of the guys, they pretty much gave an ultimatum to people to pull their funds out. Me being in the US, they were, they told me I had to pull out. So whatever, I pulled most of my investment out. I haven't lost any money off of it. I actually made a good penny off of it. So yeah, no, they got hacked. Let's see. Do you think staking is going to replace mining? On what project? Like on Ethereum? Yeah, they're trying to. If you go from a security standpoint, though, it's the dumbest thing in the world. Just look at what just look at what's going on with Solana. Have you guys paid attention to the Solana issue? Right, Solana, their blockchain is proof of stake. And Solana's blockchain gets halted like the sunrise. It happens like every day. It's no longer like breaking news. Solana's blockchain is halted. It's like, oh, okay, it's halted again. I gotcha. And part of the problem with that is because of the proof of stake mechanism. The biggest issue with proof of stake is vulnerabilities. That's why a lot of these projects have adopted that hybrid. Look at Flux. Look at Firo, look at like Conflux. A lot of these, it's 51% proof of work, 49% proof of stake. That gives that redundancy. So will mining go away? No, mining will never go away. If you look at what the flavor of the month is for mining, people, what's so bad about mining? What do people say is the biggest problem with mining? Oh, it's bad for the environment. Well, maybe if you're utilizing power from like a coal plant, which could happen. I'm not going to speak for the whole world, right? Could happen. I could tell you right now in the United States of America, there is no more coal plants, right? Everything is all nuclear energy. It's clean energy. It's being fueled by water, right? That's what cools the nuclear cores. It's water. So my mining rigs are not bad for the environment, and if you think about it, especially not so much in Florida, right, but in northern states, northern countries, right, what do most people use their mining rigs for? For a heating source, right? So you're actually using less natural resources by mining, especially during the winter months or during the cold months. If you're in a colder climate, by mining, it's cleaner energy than utilizing, auxiliary power, gas power, right? Because a lot of up north is all propane gas and stuff. Definitely you're utilizing more efficient power by doing it. So that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all caught up. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think mining's going away. I do think profits are going to definitely drop off until we get the new coin, until we get something, until we get a drop off in difficulty, until better price discovery. Right now, I know Flux doesn't make a lot of, a lot of coin, right? So, what are you, let's see, right now on my entire farm, if I moved everything over to Flux, right, I'm making 40 Flux a day, right? That's essentially what I'm making is 40 Flux a day. Well, 40 Flux a day right now isn't a lot, because the price of Flux is like 45 cents. All right. But what if in 2 years, and I'm just holding on to my flux, what if in 2 years, where's it at? Hold on. Give me a sec. I don't have there it is right there. I didn't have my glasses. What if flux moves into the number 10 spot, right? Of market cap, right? What if we go to the number 10 spot? What if we overtake Solana, right? Right now it's at 44 cents. So if it overtakes the market cap of Solana, it goes to $52. So I'm making 40, right? 40 flux a day right now. Well, when flux turns into that number 10 or whatever it is, right? $52 a coin. I mean, that's what, I mean, we're talking almost $2,100, right? A day is what my mining rig is worth. Is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. Or what if we don't get up that high within the next 2 years? What if we go to the number, what if we go to the number 20, right? What's the FTX? All right. So we're at $15. I mean, is it still worth it? Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. That's still what, like 40, 60, that's $600. That's $600 a day. That's most people make a day. And all I'm doing is just keeping my mining rigs on, so that's how I'm looking at it. I'm very bullish on Flux. I like the project. I like the development group. Cadena's right there up there, cross chain compatibility. What crypto is doing is still 100%, in my opinion, a viable alternative to what the financial markets and systems are. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything I got for the day. I don't know if anybody else has anything else, but I'm pretty much good. I'm pretty much done. I'm doing my thing, enjoying my trading, enjoying my crypto. So, what GPUs am I mining with Flux? Geez, bro. My 1060s are on Flux. And I've got two 3060 Ti that have Hynix version 2 memories that I get insane hash rate for power. So I've got two 3060 Ti's that are giving me 59 souls off of like 125 watts. So where the other 3060 Ti's that I have maybe do like 45, 50. So, but I've got two that are Hynix version 2s. And then I've got a 2070 Super that cranks it out as well. So, but eventually I'll move my my 3070 Ti's. I'll move those over. Right now they're just on Ethereum, but once Ethereum goes away, I'll move those over to Flux. So yeah, you got it. Would I set a limit on AU if we don't take out the low first? The low. No, I think what are you talking about? The talking about this low right here. Hold on. Talking about this low right here. Yeah. I mean, where we're at, I need this low to get taken. Yeah. So that's what the alert is for. Once that alert gets taken, hopefully it happens before I go to sleep, because I'll just set that limit up here. Yeah, I'll set the limit. Yeah. What do I think about Ravencoin? I own a crap ton of Ravencoin, man. So yeah. Ravencoin is, yeah. I mean, it's an alternative, right? Diversify it. I've mined, I don't even know what I have in a Ravencoin. I got the thing with Ravencoin is it used to be great when it was a 5,000 Ravencoin block reward. So when I was mining it, I was getting 5,000 every time. And when I solo mined it, I'd get, 5,000 out of, well, I'd get 49.50 because they took 50 coins as the percentage. But now it dropped to 25. So 2,500 coins kind of sucks, especially at the price that it's at. So yeah, I haven't mined Ravencoin in a while. December was the halvening, and that was the last time I mined it. But I'm sitting on a big nest egg of it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much everything I have. Again, thanks for hopping on. I'm gonna, I think I gotta watch. I've got an episode to watch with my son on Obi-Wan, I think. So, but other than that, I'm traveling to Orlando this week with my oldest daughter. Last hurrah, last volleyball tournament. So, trade safely, trade wisely, be patient, and when in doubt, where do I get the majority of my knowledge, experience, all that? I'll tell you, and most of you guys can agree to it. It's back testing and journaling everything you're doing, because that's what's going to give you that information. So with that, I'll catch everybody later. Thanks for hopping on, and have a great one, man. Enjoy.